All right, YouTube. This is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit, back with another reaction video. I'm going to do another reaction video to Anton Daniels' video. Anton Daniels did a recent video, and it's called Charlamagne is a Gatekeeper, pushing Kamala Harris on black people, even though they don't like her. Now, we've been seeing a lot of things with this Harris campaign, from her bringing out Meg Thee Stallion twerking at the rally. You know what I mean? For her shenanigans that she pulled in Detroit, and the fact that she just won't do an interview. But the insulting part that people is forgetting is why do they keep parading Charlamagne the God out as if he's a voice for Black Americans, or even a political pundit that knows what he's talking about. First of all, they come out on this I'm pro woman situation. But, and I'm going to say allegedly, everything on here is allegedly, because the censoring and the demonetization of channels is ridiculous coming from the left. If you say something that offends them, then they're going to try to strike your channel. So you got to say allegedly, even though the things I'm going to say you can find on YouTube. You can go look at Tasha K's video, DJ Academics video interviewing Charlamagne the God. Now, Charlamagne the God did an interview where he jokingly admitted to slipping something in a minor's drink. A young girl, young lady, so to speak. The young lady is suing him, and he's going through that quietly while he's center stage with his rhetoric and chastisement of black people who don't support Kamala. But I'm like, are we that quick to forget that he's embattled with a case with a minor? He pled guilty to, I think it was delinquency of a minor, for giving her alcohol, but then he later confessed to slipping something in her drink. This is a guy that whenever women went on his show and they would get up, he would sniff their seats. And now he's a spokesperson for Black America. The Democrats, they can't get any weirder. They like to use the term weird, but their choices of who they present and push out in front of us through mainstream media is suspect, to say the least, because it seemed like he would be the last person accusing Trump of the same things he's been accused of and he's been arrested and charged for. But nobody wants to talk about that. Is iHeartRadio and the people that protect him, are they that powerful that you can totally forget that he went on a live video and basically confessed to slipping something in a minor's drink at a party? The whole story is on the internet. You can see the interview where Tasha K interviewed the young lady, and you can see his interview with DJ Academics. But right here today, we're going to talk about his new job as political pundit. And we're going to see what Anton Daniels has to say as it relates to him and his being a shield for the Democratic Party and trying to usher in a revival of the Dixiecrat plantation mentality that most black men are walking away from. So, without further ado, this is for fair use in the 1976 Copyright Act for educational purposes and commentary and the First Amendment. Let's look at Anton Daniels, what he has to say about Charlamagne the God.
Charlamagne, another one, another one. Charlamagne was being held accountable by his own callers on his show, and he had no rebuttal whatsoever. He had no rebuttal whatsoever, but he is shilling for this woman, and I don't know what it is. I can't I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because she is a woman. Maybe it's because at some point in her life, she was in a position to be able to use what she got to get what she want, like Diamond from the Players Club.
Maybe it has something to do with that case that he has with that young lady, and he's coming out strong as a woman's advocate to kind of insulate himself from his indiscretions and his past deeds. Or maybe they got something else on him. But a man that sniffs seats and do the type of things that he does is not a man with a sound mind. He's unstable in all his ways of doing things. But let's listen to some more.
I don't know what it is, but they shilling harder for her than they did for other people and other leaders that was before her. You are never going to get this level of support. Listen, the disrespect that Charlamagne had for Candace Owens on her when she came up to the Breakfast Club in enemy territory is unreal. It's unreal. They don't care. Let me help y'all to understand why. And some people said, and I want to go over this Charlamagne interview. Let me help you to understand why you need to stop being friends with these people, because even in the Christian community, we're told we got to go over there and win souls. I didn't hear that nowhere in the Bible. I didn't hear that I had to go and compete for anybody. All I heard was you spit the word, let the chips land where they may, and people are going to have their own relationship with God, which then translates into them having to make an informed decision as to whether or not they want to save or not be saved. I was not told that I had to go and win anything. And so y'all keep going over here in enemy territory. Candace Owens, she went over on the Breakfast Club, and I'm assuming that she got more visibility as a result of it. I don't know where any of it actually benefited her, but she went over there on the Breakfast Club, and let me just tell you something. It was a zero-sum game because they still don't like her. You going over into these places thinking that these people now going to start liking you. They don't like you. They don't like you. What you think that there's supposed to be some level of respect for you? They don't like you. Y'all keep going over into enemy territory with no objective and no agenda. If it doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form, you're not going to convince these people who are ultimately paid shills. That's like trying to convince a woman that is in an abusive relationship to leave. She not leaving until she ready to leave. And I learned that from Christianity. I learned that from studying the Bible. And that you can't tell somebody that they have to love God. The only thing you can do is give them the option to do so and educate them, which ultimately is going to be their decision. Because God is to be revealed, not pushed on people. He's to be revealed, which means that in time, everybody is going to have to come and answer for everything that they did. And it's ultimately going to be something that you're going to have to come to the conclusion that this is the best thing for you. Often at times, most people don't even find God until they find themselves at the bottom of the barrel or at their lowest point in life. It's to be revealed to you. And so you going over there trying to shill for these people, all they going to do is talk about you when you leave behind.
At Hungry Howie's, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients to bring you the most incredible pizzas. And he's making
your back, because it don't matter what kind of facts you give them. It don't matter what it is that you tell them. It don't matter how much education you give them. You can tell that woman to leave that abuser, but she not leaving until she fed up, she tired, and she tired of getting fed up. And then ultimately, she gonna walk away from the thing that she know was never best for her in the first place. This is Charlamagne on ABC. I want to fast forward it a little bit because it's a lot of preview stuff.
Certainly right about what would happen if Biden debated Donald Trump. 6 months later, we talked to him about the state of the race now, how Kamala Harris can win and how she could lose. I think it was exactly 6 months ago we sat down, or just about 6 months ago, and you said that there was no main character energy with Biden. Nobody was inspired by the Democratic ticket. But what about
main character energy?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of main character energy on the Democratic ticket. I mean, that's always been my frustration, from the beginning, right? Because we know who the vice.
He uses this nondescript term, main character energy, when in all actuality, Kamala Harris and her cackling is definitely a character. You know what I mean? We can all agree that she is a character. But the elephant in the room is, when did Charlamagne become a political scientist or a political theorist or any advocate for Black Americans? And I've been seeing a lot of that lately in the media, where people claim the fame is that they are advocates for the Black community or any community, when they all are just chasing the bag. They can't name you anything that she's done to help the Black community. They can't name anything that they have done to help the Black community. But everybody wants to take on these nondescript characterizations of activism. You know what I mean? Like they're social scientists or social engineers, when in all actuality, he's just a paid shill. He's just a person that iHeart uses and puts out there to repeat their talking points. But in all actuality, people should be offended that it's him. I mean, they say they stand for women. What about the woman in the case that he's dealing with currently? He's the first person I've ever seen admit openly on the internet that he slipped something in somebody's drink and laughed about it casually. You know, and again, the seat sniffing at his show. You know, and like I said last week, the Democratic Party have been using the term weird. You know, and their spokespersons and spokespeople happen to be some of the weirdest ideologues that you've seen up to this date. And I don't think Anton is really addressing the elephant in the room when it comes to somebody like Charlamagne, because they should be just as outraged with him speaking in terms of politics as they were with Megan Thee Stallion twerking. Even more so with him. You know, Megan Thee Stallion at some point was a victim of a crime, and allegedly he is a victimizer. And it's insulting to hear him give these anecdotal statements as it relates to politics and Kamala Harris. Watch some more.
President is. We know who Kamala Harris is. Like, she has super main character energies.
And I think you what the
He's just saying things that are totally unsubstantiated. Was she being a superhero when she was locking up mothers for truancy? Was she being a superhero keeping people past their release dates for cheap labor? When has she ever been a superhero that we could look up to, when she told people plainly, I'm not going to do anything for Black people? And she's cosplaying. This is an Indian, a South Asian Indian, pretending to be Black because she went to a sorority, a AKA. They suspect the Boule with Roland Martin and all them Greeks that go get paddled and stomped and dance. If they was intelligent, they wouldn't have a Greek fraternity. They would have their own fraternities. And you will see a presence of them doing something in their communities other than just being bourgeoisie. Let's continue.
Pardon my English. I'm not gonna curse. I was gonna curse. I almost lost my mind, but I'm not gonna curse because I understand that y'all playing me inside of the office, the churches, the daycares, and all of that stuff. So I got you. Don't worry, I got you. What the freak is main character energy? What in the world are these shills talking about? What the heck is main character energy? She definitely got main character energy. What the heck is main character energy? I need somebody. Look, does Kim Jong-un has main character energy? Does Putin have main character energy? Just asking a question. What do we care about main character energy? Why is this even a conversation? Why is this a thing? Main character energy?
said the race was between the crooks, the cowards, and the couch.
Yeah.
And the couch, meaning apathy, was gonna had the lead. What about now?
I think there's less apathy, but if I'm the Democrats, I'm not spiking the football yet. The job is not done. You still have to bring this thing home in November. I think that there's a lot of energy. People keep calling this the honeymoon phase. I don't think it's a honeymoon phase. I just think people haven't been in.
I swear to God, on everything I love. I know I ain't supposed to swear to God, but I promise you, on everything I love, that these people be watching my live streams. On everything that I love, these people be paying attention to my viral videos. On everything I love, these people take every single talking point. Listen, I'm going to preface this conversation by saying that I looked at the first 3.5 minutes of this interview. And everything. If your paycheck isn't for a couple of days, but you needed some money now, I got you. So Dave Extra Cash has been my absolute life. What he said is things that I was saying verbatim, addressing on my platforms. I'm telling you, these people, they listen, they pay attention. I had people that was calling me and was saying, Anton, you got to be careful because you might lose this sponsorship opportunity that might be coming your way because it's some people that's really paying attention to you. They really looking at you. It's some people that's prominent, that's really focused on your platform. I'm telling you, these people be listening and stealing y'all talking points, and they don't even give you credit for some of the stuff that you be saying.
Energized in the Democratic Party in a long time. I think a lot of voters, even if you're not a Democrat, if you're an independent, or undecided person, you haven't been energized for something in a long time. The last time we felt energy in a campaign was 2008 when President Barack Obama first ran.
These people steal so many talking points. And I know it's easy to say, oh man, you ain't the person that came up with it. Stop it, bro. It ain't about coming up with it. It's about popularizing it. And I literally have used these exact same talking points in the same video with about the same distance of length in between the talking points itself. And next thing you know, I see these people on these paid organizations, these liberal platforms, using the same conversations. When was Charlamagne ever educated or well-spoken enough to be able to articulate himself in this way? Don't y'all know that most of our leaders is dumb? Most of our leaders is dumb. Honest to God. They are stupid. And the reason that it's easy for you to for them to be stupid is because it's easy to manipulate them. All you got to do is give them some talking points. Say hi, be friends with them, and then they'll love you for life. They're going to go over there and they're going to shill for you for life. I swear, honest, man.
This feels like, whoa. There's like real energy. You want to be involved.
That crowd we saw in Michigan.
Absolutely.
Was something else.
And look at all the new registered voters.
Yeah.
When people are energized enough to say, hey, I want to go out and register to vote and be a part of this process, that's when you know you got real energy.
He's used energy about 16 times so far, and I'm sure that they edited out more. So far, we only 2 minutes into this video, and he's used the word energy 16 times. 16 times. Do you know that when they came to Michigan, they didn't even leave the airport hangar? They never even came into any of the cities whatsoever, that they bust people in there, that they're paying influencers, and we're going to get into that in the next part of the show. You see it on the bottom of the screen. They're paying influencers to then come into these communities or people to shill for Kamala Harris because she has no visibility whatsoever. Those protesters continued to shout her down, and they held her accountable. And they did not agree with her over in Michigan, and people over in Michigan was not rocking with her at all. But she had main character energy.
She had protesters out in Michigan.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Is that main character energy to y'all? Is that main character energy, y'all?
What did you make of the way she shut them down?
I've seen that before. She shut me down like that. We've seen it on TV when I had my talk show on Comedy Central. She shut me down like that. So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
That's how she shuts you down behind the scenes as well. If you're having a conversation, and it's not a shutdown. It's just to listen, respect me. I'm the most powerful woman in the world. I want you to listen to me.
So you said,
what would make him think that she's the most powerful woman in the world? You know what I mean? That's just like people who still think that the United States could actually defeat Russia and China. You know what I mean? Those talking points are used to manipulate and brainwash the masses. Because in what world is she the most powerful woman in the world? Does he know anything about the world? This is Charlamagne the God. That's
something when we spoke 6 months ago. You said Biden should don't debate. Whatever you do not debate Donald Trump.
So was I right?
Did he? What you said? You said that Trump would make him look old and frail.
Yeah, I don't know why people didn't see this coming. That was the other frustrating thing. I'm glad that they have a lot of energy in the party now, but they could have done this a year.
Maybe we should have a counter for the word energy. I think we should almost have a Charlamagne counter for the word energy. Energy, 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 energy. She got main character energy. They got a lot of energy. Energy, taking away the energy. Donald Trump, energy for Biden, energy.
A year ago. And they could have avoided all of the backlash they're receiving now where people are saying, oh, there was no primary. The people didn't decide this. This was a coup that the party did. It's like, yo, you could have avoided this a year ago because we all saw this way back when.
Nobody stood up to run against him. I mean, Dean Phillips,
But think about what he's admitting to. We all saw Joe Biden in cognitive decline. She was a part of the group that hid that and was coming out saying how great he was, while all the time undermining him to replace him as the candidate. It's to the point to where they bring these people and they just put them in front of you and they just say anything. And you don't really analyze what it is that they're saying because they have a way of making it sound good. But pick apart what he's actually saying and then think about what do they have on him. I'm thinking he is controlled. He is totally controlled. And no one, for some reason in media, is even talking about the case he has with the young lady. Because they can come out and they can parade Trump's 34 felonies and they can accuse everybody else of something. But for some reason, nobody is addressing his situation. He gets to come out and be an authority and a representative of black voters, unchallenged, with his history. I think people should be more offended than they was with him than they are with Megan Thee Stallion, honestly.
No major national
because it was all planned. It wasn't a thing. We all know what was going on. It was all planned. This is not even a look, man. Fool me once, you can't fool me twice. It was all planned. We knew. Everybody knew. I talked about it way before that on the Millionaire Morning Show when they ultimately even agreed to do this debate in the first place. And I said it. I said, man, listen, the play is for Kamala Harris. Nobody was confused. Shout out to all of my early supporters. Shout out to everybody that was a part of the movement before we got over 4,600 people in here, and the likes on YouTube alone, and the likes is absolutely abysmal. Over 4,600 people in here, and the likes is absolutely abysmal. Shout out to the early people that's been rocking with me for a long time when I called and I said, hey, man, the play is for Kamala Harris. The play.
With SpotMe, I can overdraft up to $200 fee-free. Install the Chime app today.
It's for Kamala Harris. The play is for Kamala Harris. The play is for Kamala Harris. The play is for Kamala Harris. This wasn't no surprise.
The Democratic side even hinted about challenging him.
Well, they should have been having those backroom conversations with him a year ago. Yeah. Actually, they should have been having them 4 years ago. They should have been like, hey, you're a transitional president. You're here for, a good time, not a long time, and we are going to set up the future of the Democratic Party. Because they got a fantastic bench, whether it's the vice president, who's currently running, whether it's Governor Josh Shapiro, whether it's Gretchen Whitmer, whether it's
Gretchen Whitmer, the Michigan governor, the get S done governor. I'm the cussingest governor that there is, and Tim Walz might be even more of a cussing governor than me.
Westmore, you know.
I'm gonna end on this note, and you can see, go to Anton's channel, you can see the whole video. But Charlamagne is just throwing names out there. You could tell when he gets to talking about Governor Whitmer of Michigan. I'm here in Detroit, and you can't tell me anything that Governor Whitmer has done for our communities other than lock us down and hurt a lot of businesses during the pandemic. But he gets to just say things, and it's almost like they playing in black people's face. They playing in our face when they bring out people like Charlamagne. You know what I mean? And they expect us to ignore who he is and who he's always been as a character, a person of bad character. So his decision making is not to be respected just by him throwing the names out there. He said he didn't know anything about Tim Walz in his video. What do you think that he really knows about Governor Whitmer here in Michigan? He's just putting names out, just saying things to you. And I think you should be insulted when they bring him out, particularly. So I'm going to end on this note. This is Detroit's HPTV. Coming to you out of Detroit. Support Detroit's Black Thought Action Collective, the nonprofit. The Cash App is in the description. As always, salute to all patriots. Keep your head on the swivel. Peace. Like, share, and subscribe.